I really don't have much to say about this game other than that time and time again, historically, the Indiana Pacers have been LeBron James's bitch. They can't beat the guy. Every time they're in a position where they look like they can be competitors or they can be, this finally is the year where the Pacers can challenge LeBron James in Eastern Conference supremacy, they disappoint. I remember that epic game LeBron James had some years ago. Can't remember which year it was. It might have been 2014 or 13, one of those 2 years. He came in Indiana. This is when he was still with Miami. He came in Indiana, scored like 45 points. He looked like Michael Jordan. I mean, he had like this scowl on his face. Like, it was one of the few times that he played like nasty. And he shot like 19 of 27 or something. I mean, he just had this epic game, man. And the Pacers just historically always come up short against LeBron James. And a part of me wonders sometimes if it's the reason why LeBron James tries to play so hard against them is he looks over there and not looking at the actual players on the bench, but he looks at the executives and he sees Larry Bird over there. And that's the guy that everybody still wants to compare him against. So I don't know whether that has just a little bit to do with it. I don't know. But LeBron James had 33 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 assists in the 106-102 victory. What record did he break? They were talking about it. I think it's the most consecutive first-round games won, which is 21. That they credit only to LeBron James for some reason. But it broke the record set by the mid-'80s Lakers as far as like consecutive playoff games won in the first round. And I think he has won 10 first-round playoff series, which is another record. So that's that. Kevin Love did not shoot well at all. I think he only made 2 of 10 shots for only 5 points. But he did have 16 rebounds. Tristan Thompson had 11 boards. Kyrie Irving scored 28 points. And Ron Williams had 14 points coming off the bench. Paul George did not show up offensively for his club. He took the last shot for the Pacers, a shot that would have tied the ball game, and the shot went totally askew. It was pretty much an air ball. This is the guy everybody demanded should take the last shot. Hit the side of the backboard. Typical Paul George at times. I mean, he's a great player, but sometimes, man, like when it comes to certain situations, he doesn't deliver. I think there was a statistic I saw recently. It was right after C.J. Miles missed that potential game-winner shot in Game 1, and they were crunching the numbers, and they said that Paul George over his career in potential game-winning situations was, 0 for 15 or something like that. I might be misremembering that statistic, but something like he was 0 for 15 in his career as far as potential game-winning shots or something like that. But I wonder if that was Paul George's last game as a Pacer. I'm inclined to think it might be. But Jeff Teague guaranteed that his team wouldn't get swept. That didn't happen. But he had 15 points. The former Atlanta Hawk, 15 points, 4 rebounds, 10 assists. Lance Stevenson, he came to play. He was the high scorer, 22 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Thaddeus Young had 15 points and 10 rebounds, I believe. And that's pretty much it. You had some guys that contribute for the Pacers, but Miles Turner had 20 points, I believe, and 9 rebounds. But they didn't. Their leader didn't show up today, and their so-called leader didn't show up today. And the Pacers are just, they hung around, man. They could have won. They couldn't capitalize off a couple of late steals in the ball game. LeBron James and Kyrie Irving both missed some potential shots that would have sealed the deal, but they couldn't. Talking about the Pacers, they couldn't capitalize off of that. There was even a steal that I think, who was it? Was it Jeff Teague intercepted the errant pass? But the Pacers just couldn't capitalize off of any turnovers they had, man. It's just typical Pacers. So their season is over. They're the first team that's been eliminated. And I think Paul George is going to go somewhere else, man. I don't think he's re-signing with that team. So congratulations to the Cleveland Cavaliers. They're the first team to advance out of the first round. They're going to await the winner of the Milwaukee Bucks-Toronto Raptors series. And whoever it is that advances from that series is going to get blasted by Cleveland, because they're not playing the strongest teams. You know, actually, their first round opponent is probably going to be stronger than their next opponent. You know, the Pacers are probably going to be a more formidable opponent than their next round, because they absolutely always own Toronto. We've seen that last year. Milwaukee's a very good defensive team, but offensively, I don't think they can keep up with the Cleveland Cavaliers. And speaking of defense, the last couple of games, Cleveland has looked better on defense. And also in these third quarters in this series, I think I saw a statistic that said in the third quarter of this series, Cleveland outscored the Pacers 124-87. So for some reason, after halftime, probably because they get a little rest and they get a little motivated and they get, you know, kicked in the ass by the head coach or LeBron, they come out with a passion and fire in third quarter. So they're just waiting to see who's going to win this series between the Bucks and the Raptors. And the way this thing is going, they may go all 7. So they're going to get about a week's worth of rest. They're a veteran club. That's just going to help them. You don't have to worry about LeBron being ready for the next round. It's a veteran club. They don't look as dominating as they did last year, but they look better than they did toward the end of the regular season. And that's a scary proposition for the Eastern Conference. But tell me what you guys think.